What's up, Juventine? Alberto here. This is the AJC, your one-stop shop for everything Juventus. So smash that subscribe button if you love Juve like I do. I got all your Juve news today, all right? We got some interesting reports from Motta'S in terms of Motta and the first request he's made, but we've also got news. Milan is planning a hijack on Juventus. Motta'S also gives us something else on Antonio Conte, and I've got all the player rumors circulating today around the Mercato, and of course we're going to take a look at the health status leading up to this big game this weekend against Roma, all right? So without further ado, let's get into it. Nico Schira brings us the news on Federico Chiesa, and he is stating that there are no bids as of yet, and the interest might be light on Federico Chiesa, all signs pointing to that one-year bridge gap renewal, but both parties, player and Juventus, could be still testing the Mercato this summer. But as of right now, there's nothing coming in, and Juve is pushing to sign for the same terms he's on right now, 5 million net plus 1 million in bonuses. And we know Federico Chiesa is pushing for 6 million net plus his bonuses. We will see what happens, but I honestly believe that Federico Chiesa does not want to leave Italy, and that makes a move within Italy just not making a whole lot of sense for him, in my personal opinion. So I see him remaining with Juventus. As far as one of the other teams in Italy, Roma, goes, Juve is looking at two of their players. One of them, of course, is Cherubini, who had a deal in place in the winter Mercato, okay? It was also part of the Dean Huijsen loan move, and it fell apart due to injury. Juve apparently could be going back in for the player. The second player is the one we've heard many rumors around, and that is Leonardo Spinazzola, all right? And a return to Juventus on a free transfer. There are no signs of a renewal coming between Spinazzola and Roma, and apparently his agent has offered him up again to Giuntoli and Juventus. We have to follow this situation, all right? Now we get to some of these Bologna players and the rumors circulating today that tie into many factors. Calafiore, he is linked to Leverkusen, Tottenham, and Newcastle, but Mirko Di Natale states that the interest is intense from Juventus. They will be pushing to sign the player, who has a price tag of 20 to 25 million euros. He was listed as one of the two players that was going to be the first piece of business for Juventus by Nico Schira. It was him and Di Gregorio. However, in comes Motta'S stating that Zirkzee is the first piece of business for Juventus because this is the first request made by Thiago Motta, and he is saying that this request was made on a confidential private dinner meeting between Giuntoli and Thiago Motta on April 10th. All right, so there you have it. Gazzetta follows up the reports about interest with Zirkzee, stating that 3 players would be moved in order to fund this, and they are Huijsen, Sule, and Illing Jr. Now, we have to take it easy, because is in fact Thiago Motta coming 100%? Well, there are a lot of rumors today swirling that Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Milan are pressing to lure Thiago Motta to Milan. And of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is an ex-teammate of Thiago Motta. He is working on it and going to do everything in his power, apparently, to bring the manager to Milan. Meanwhile, Antonio Conte, Motta'S brings us a little more of a report stating that there were meetings that ended up having just Conte and Ferraro at the table. What comes of it, he says, he can't find any confirmations. Juventus was discussed. However, that is a strange duo to see end up at a meeting together. I don't think it's all done and dusted with Antonio Conte. I still firmly believe he is waiting to see what happens at Juventus before accepting any other move. And yes, I know about a bunch of other rumors that are swirling around, but I'm just not buying it. I think he's waiting until he knows 100% what is going on at the seat at Juventus. But that is what Motta'S stating today. The rumors around Milan trying to lure Motta make a lot of sense. There's going to be several clubs vying for his signature, and I think that the majority of the interest is, of course, coming from those two clubs, Juve and Milan in Italy. All right, so all we could do, like we always say, hurry up and wait. All right, now Dean Huijsen, one of the players listed that would be sold potentially to drop funds for that Zirkzee move or even a midfielder move. Huijsen has interest from Dortmund and Newcastle. His price tag is at 30 million euros. The guarantee of having a space in the squad is apparently the request the player has made, which has rubbed fans the wrong way with a young player making such demands, and some fans are ready to move him because they're getting bad vibes from him. Are you having bad vibes from it? Should we be selling Dean Huijsen? Hit me in the comments, all right? Manchester United pressing for Adrien Rabiot, but Adrien Rabiot is standing firm on wanting assurances. Remember what I said on the last live show, that I'm hearing that there are players that are pushing management at Juventus right now to get some type of assurances. Adrien Rabiot is one of those players. He wants to know what's going on at the coaching position. He wants to know what's going to happen as far as the project with players, etc. So he is going to wait and drag this thing on, and Juve apparently is going to wait right there to see what his decision is. I disagree with that, but that apparently is what all signs are pointing to, all right? Daniele Rugani find himself in a little bit of trouble. Obviously, he's got a trial set to stand on May 23rd, and this was due to driving under the influence last summer, 3 times above the legal limit. Daniele, be better, be better. Anyways, that's set to go down May 23rd. Buongiorno, a player that many Juventini would like to see added to the squad, apparently is closer to both Milan sides. Nothing set to come from that one, but of course, the Mercato is wild, and absolutely anything can happen, all right? But of course, we would have to see what happens with Gleison, Bremer. Now, last, certainly not least, health status going into the big game this weekend against Roma. Sandro looks to be dealing with some complications that might keep him out of the squad list. And then Dusan Vlahovic had to have his knee treated after the Milan match and has managed the workload in training throughout this week, but looks to be all systems go heading into that big game this weekend, which could see Juventus clinch Champions League, all right? Hopefully that's the case, but that wraps up the news to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, follow, subscribe, share the content, but my favorite part, let's mix it up because I can't wait to hear what you think about everything we just heard today, all right? And until tomorrow's edition, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.